Now the feast of the unleavened bread drew near, which is called Passover. And the chief priest and the scribes sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people. Then Satan entered Judas, who was one of Jesus' disciples. So he went his way and conferred with the chief priest and the scribes, how he might betray him to them. And they were glad and agreed to give him money. And began to look for a good opportunity to betray Jesus to them when no crowd was present. The time of the Passover festival was drawing near, so Jesus and his 12 disciples went to the upper room of the house in Jerusalem to eat the Passover meal together. Normally, Passover was a time of joy, celebration, and laughter, when people remembered how God had set his people, the Israelites, free from Egypt. But not this night. They all sat quietly around Jesus, who was very serious and sorrowful. As they sat at the table, Jesus took the bread and gave thanks to God. Then he broke it and offered it to his friends, saying, "This is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me." Then Jesus took the cup and gave thanks to God. Then offers it to his friends, saying, "This is my blood, which is poured out for many, for the forgiveness of sin." They took the cup and drank, one by one, as Jesus told them about God's promises to forgive sin and show his love to the world. After they got up and left the house to go to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took with him Peter, James, and John. Jesus began to feel troubled, and he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow. Stay here and watch for me." Then he went a little further and fell to his knees and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them asleep. "Can you men not keep watch for me for 1 hour?" Then Jesus went away a second time to pray. "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done." When Jesus returned to his disciples a second time, he found them asleep again. He went away once more to pray. "Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Your will be done." Jesus returns again to his disciples. "Are you still sleeping? The hour is near, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer." The Roman soldiers took Jesus to the house of Caiaphas, the high priest. "Are you the Son of God? Are you the Messiah? You must tell us." "It is as you say," said Jesus, without taking his gaze off the cold eyes of his accuser. The people shouted, "He's guilty! Put him to death!" Then Caiaphas ordered him to be taken away. This man was with Jesus in Galilee. Me? I don't know this man. Yes, you were with him. No, I was not. You're from Galilee. You were with Jesus. I have never even met this man. So the elders, chief priests, and scribes all came together to follow the soldiers as they led Jesus to the governor, Pontius Pilate. Pilate asked him, saying, "Are you the king of the Jews?" And Jesus answered, "You are right in saying that I am." Pilate learned that Jesus was Galilean and under King Herod's jurisdiction. He ordered him to be taken to King Herod. Herod had come to Jerusalem for the Passover. When he heard that Jesus was being sent to him, he was thrilled. He had heard that Jesus was a brilliant teacher who healed the sick and even raised the dead. He hoped to see him perform miracles. But when Jesus was brought before him, he was disappointed. He looked so ordinary and weak. He asked Jesus question after question, but he said nothing at all. The priests continued shouting their accusations against him. Pilate called together the elders, chief priests, and scribes, and told them, "You have brought me this man, Jesus, that was accused of blasphemy and provoking the people to rebellion. I have examined this man in your presence, and I have found no fault in him. Neither has Herod. He has done nothing to deserve death. Therefore, I will punish him and then let him go." But the people insisted that Jesus be crucified. Now Pilate was obliged to release one prisoner at the Passover feast. So he decided to let the people choose who he would set free, Jesus or Barabbas. And the people shouted, "Free Barabbas! Give us Barabbas! Release Barabbas!" Pilate, wanting to release Jesus, appealed to the crowd again. But they kept shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" So Pilate decided to grant their demand. He freed Barabbas and surrendered Jesus to be crucified.